Hello, welcome back to HAG'S LAB. I'm here with my C64 today, which I've had for about a year now. I bought it on finn.no from a guy here in Norway. It was listed as unknown condition, and when I got it, it didn't work. As you can see, the machine is in good physical condition, and even though it wasn't cheap, I got a disk drive, a dataset, and a matrix printer with the machine. And I still haven't tested any of the peripherals, except for maybe the dataset. But I'm definitely gonna have to do that at some later point, but that's gonna be in another video. But as you can see, the C64 is working now, and today we're gonna have a look at what I did to get it working, and also go through some issues that still needs fixing. So this is going to be the first video in a series of videos where I aim to fully repair the C64 and do some upgrades as well. Let's get started. I have some pictures here that I took when I first tested the unit, and as you can see, I had it had different behavior whenever I started the C64. So this isn't like, these images aren't, they're not flickering or anything like that. It's just like static images on the screen when I turn on the C64. It's just that they differ for every start. So this was my starting point, and I was using the Pictorial C64 fault guide, which has a lot of images of different faults, and then it's listed which chips that may cause the graphical fault. So I was using this guide, and there's really nothing like close to this image here before you come down to the RAM. As you can see here, we have this is a really similar image. So that led me on to believe that was some RAM chip that was the issue. And even if we look at some of these other pictures, it's like, it can definitely be the RAM, right? Because there's other images that's similar. So that was my first clue to what was wrong on this C64, and it wasn't surprising that was the RAM. Like, that would have been like maybe the first thing to try and replace anyway. Further down the page, if we keep scrolling, there's actually one more picture here. So this picture is also very similar, and it's like almost the exact same as the picture on the RAM section. So this says U27, but when you look at the general tips for logic chips, you can see anything from U8 to U13 through U16, U20, and 25 through U32. Also listed. So I guess maybe all of those chips can cause this screen. So after power toggling the C64 multiple times and having many different artifacts on the screen, it actually suddenly died. And so after I took these pictures, the video output just died, and I didn't get a border, I didn't get anything on screen. I don't even think the TV may have detected like a signal, a sync signal, I'm not sure, but it was just completely blank on the TV. So that was kind of a setback, because then I didn't really know what to do from there, and there's actually no section here for like no video output as far as I can see. But I definitely did like Google a lot of stuff, and yeah, didn't really figure out what issue that might be. All I had to go on was the RAM. When there's something wrong with the RAM, you usually get some picture on the screen. The video signal should still be working even though the RAM is faulty. You just get like a garbled screen. What I ended up doing was to socket all these chips. So these are the RAM chips. I socketed these to logic ICs. I'm pretty sure I socketed this chip, which is the PLA, as far as I know. And I socketed this, the SID. I also like tried to just remove that, because I think actually the SID may cause a black screen, but I removed that and there was no difference. I also socketed all the chips in this on the VIC-2 circuit. So all these logic chips, I had to use the sockets I had on hand, so some of them are a little bigger, but it doesn't really matter. Luckily, while I was doing all this desoldering and socketing of the chips, I had access to another C64 that was actually working, which is very helpful. So I had to desolder a lot of the chips on the working C64 as well, and I also put in sockets there. And then I could swap chips between the two C64s and see if anything made a difference. And that's what I kept doing. Like, I tried swapping all of these chips. I swapped the ROMs, I swapped the PLA, I swapped the RAM, I swapped these two, which I don't really know what they do at the moment, but they're some kind of logic chips. Those 4 chips were the last I tried to swap out. And what it ended up being was this chip right here. So this is the on my C64 anyway, it was labeled 74LS74 APC, which is a D flip-flop, 2-function, positive edge triggered, something. So I swapped that out, and my C64 was working. So after figuring out which chip was at least one of the issue, because I still think the RAM definitely also had an issue, but the fix for the no video output was definitely this flip-flop chip. Even though I swapped the chips from the working C64, I had to get a replacement for myself. So I ended up getting that from retroleum.co.uk, which is a great source of replacement stuff for the C64 and also Sinclair ZX stuff, well, Spectrum stuff. Also the VIC-20 and 1541 disk drive apparently. So I ended up buying some chips from here, and I also I didn't just buy the flip-flop, which is, what was it called again? SN74 LS74. So yeah, this is the chip I needed. Common systems when faulty, entire screen blank with noise pattern. Startup screen shows normal characters in multicolored rainbow. Yeah, so actually that explains this image here, really. So I guess like the faults when this IC goes bad can range from like an image like this, but then also just no image at all. So I guess my IC was just dying as I was testing it. So it started out with this multicolored rainbow, and ended up just dying and giving me no video output. I ended up getting a replacement for that one, and I also got some RAM chips. I'm not sure if I got them from here or some eBay seller or something, but I definitely got some more chips. So I put the replacement chips in my C64 and took the other ones back into the other one, so then there were 2 working C64s, which is nice. But the thing is that I have some extra chips here that I didn't need, that I bought for just like having on hand if something else should go wrong. And these are all the original RAM chips that were in this machine, because I just ended up swapping all of them while I was troubleshooting, and then I never tested these afterwards. So I think I'm gonna go through all of these chips and just test them and see if any of them are non-working. I have my newly acquired Kung Fu Flash cartridge here, which I'm gonna use for diagnostics. So let me just put that in and turn on the C64. See if I can get an image. There we go. So I have the C64 diagnostic revision 586220. So this is the one that needs a test harness to be able to test all the stuff that's listed on screen here. But anyway, it does the RAM tests, and it's basically all we need. So this test actually shows U1 and U2 as bad as well, which is the CIA chips, CIA 1 and 2. And that's kind of a spoiler for episode 2, because there's definitely something wrong with at least one of my CIA chips. So we're looking into that in the next episode. It also says U18 is bad, which is the SID. I'm not quite sure what that's based on, but the SID chip in this machine is, as far as I know, it's working perfectly. Maybe it's the paddle inputs or something that's bad. Or maybe I can't test it properly without the test harness. Anyway, let us open the C64 and we'll go through all of these RAM chips first and see if any of them are bad. So let me just turn off the machine and we'll remove. I guess we'll just remove this one. So this is a, not quite sure what that is, CM. Not quite sure which manufacturer that is. These other ones are Texas Instrument chips. Let me just pour all of these out. One more. Stuck on the tape. There we go. So you can probably not see that, but this is a TMS 4164. And the other chips I have are named CM8164. The new ones I have are dated 87 and 89, and these old ones are the Texas Instruments ones are from 84. Yeah, it seems like all of them are from 84. Let me just put this in. Let's get in the socket in the right direction. Turn them back on. Okay, so that doesn't seem to work properly. Just get a black screen. So I'm guessing this is faulty. Oh. Maybe. I've never seen that before. There was a blank screen for a long time and then it suddenly jumped into the program. I'm trying to what is going on? This chip definitely seems flaky. Let's see what it says on the RAM test if we can finish here. Okay, so it says RAM okay now. Let me try and start this machine again. Okay. Seems to work now. Maybe it just wasn't seated properly in the socket. The chips are desoldered, so the legs are a little bit shorter than they're supposed to be. Let me try and hit reset on my Kung Fu cartridge a couple of times and see if it still boots up. Okay. See if it goes through the RAM test one more time. RAM test 1 okay. RAM test 2 okay. Okay. Have a new silver marker, which I'm gonna use to mark the chips. So let me just put this as just put this over here. That was the one I had in there originally. Let me take out this TI chip. Let's just try and get a check marker. So there's one tested. Let's go to the next one. Gonna have to straighten the legs on some of these. Okay, I think that's in there. Let's give it a go. Seems to work okay. RAM test okay. Good. One more working chip. Oh, the legs on this one is in really bad shape. So I'm just using these flat head tweezers to try and fix these pins as best as I can. The ones on this chip was really bad. Like bent in every direction. Bent and twisted. Oh, seems to work okay as well. Some quick resets. RAM test 1. Okay, RAM test 2. Okay. All of these chips were desoldered from the machine. None of them were socketed. I should probably have done a better job at cleaning the legs from leftover solder and stuff. Nice. Maybe all of these chips are actually working. Another good chip. RAM tests okay. Nice. All of these 5 chips have been working and have these 3 left, so let's just keep going. RAM test 1. Okay. RAM test 2. Okay. That's 6 out of 8. Chip number 7. Let's wait for the RAM test. This is RAM test 1. Okay, RAM test 2. Yeah, good. I guess we may actually have a bad bad RAM chip after all then. The last one we tested. So we'll just try and reseat the chip and see if the issues still persist. It should definitely be in there as well as the other ones, so let's try again. Yeah, so that definitely seems like that is a non-working chip. I mean, it's kind of... I was expecting at least one of the RAM chips to be defective as well as the flip-flop over here, so I guess that is what I expected. It's just funny that it's the last RAM chip we test. Definitely bad, and we'll give it a big X. Big fat X. I think I'm gonna do like Adrian's Digital Basement and make a dead parts bin where I'll put this and future bad chips. Now, I'm not sure if I should stick with these new RAM chips that I bought when I first fixed the C64, or if I should replace the ones that were originally inside the machine. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. These are newest, so maybe I should save them and use the older ones, or maybe I should just use these new ones and save the older ones. I don't know. I don't think it matters. I'll just take all of these and I'll keep these for spares. That's good. That means I have 7 spares of the 40... What are they called? Like 4164s, the RAM chips. Well, this episode is dragging out a bit, so I think we're gonna have to call it here, and we'll have a look at these other chips in the next part. I'll see you next time.